Hello everyone, it's Junie checking in with you regarding Jack and Lily who went missing from Nova Scotia. Now, I did pull a chart. I just wanted to take a quick peek at the astrology and see if anything stands out at me. I know some other astrologers have been working on it. I know Jen from Astrology for Mystics, she's been working on a map. So if you want to check her channel out, please do so. I'm just going to take a quick peek and see what stands out at me the most. Every astrologer does astrology a little different, and they break down charts, especially crime charts, a little differently. So I did do an asteroid study. I pulled Jack. I have a few Jacks. I pulled a Lily. I have a few Lilies. I pulled a Daniel. I understand that the stepfather's name is Daniel. I had one asteroid by the name of Daniel, just plain Daniel. The mother's name is difficult. I'm not really sure how to pronounce her name. It begins with an M, Malalia. I'm not really sure how to pronounce the mother's name, the mother's first name. But I did find an asteroid with the mother's middle name with just plain Brooks, Brooks. So I have an asteroid by the name of Brooks. And then I also have an asteroid by the name of Murray as well. And so I was able to pretty much pull a few asteroids just to see where they showed up on the astrology. Now, just to give you a background about this case, if you're not familiar with it, from what I understand, the mother was keeping the kids home from school. I don't think that either they were not feeling well. Now, again, just please remember, if the parents are listed as suspect, they are considered innocent until proven guilty. I am not making this video to accuse them. I am not using astrology to accuse anyone of doing anything harmful to their children. All I'm going to do is just tell you what the planets mean, what the houses mean, and just breaking down horror forensic criminal astrology and seeing what it looks like. Does not mean that they're guilty. Even if the astrology makes them look like crap, it still doesn't mean that they're guilty. We always want to keep hope alive and hope that these kids are found alive. So, from what I understand, they were home from school. I'm not sure for how long, a few days. Here in my state, if your kids miss more than 2 days of school, you have to go in with a doctor's note. Like your child has to be seen by a doctor before they can come back to school. That's how it works here. So like if your kid is out for a full week, you better have a doctor's note, and your kid would need to be seen by a doctor. So I don't know how it is in Canada. That's how it is here in my state. Not that my state is perfect, because we have lots of children that are abused and never see a doctor. But I just know that the school frowns upon it. Our public school system, they frown upon it if you walk in without a doctor's note. If your kid has been missing from school for more than 2-3 days, they want documentation for why they were out. So, and if you don't have it, then that's an unexcused absent. And in our state, you can't have a lot of unexcused absences, or you get in trouble, and then you get a knock at your door. That's how it is here. You can't have more than 10 unexcused absences in my state, or you get, it's not good. Okay, so unexcused absences. So I'm curious if the school is aware of that, or if she did take her children to see a doctor, if they were out of school for that long. From what I understand, Daniel was missing hours at work. So they did go missing on a Venus day. A Venus day is regarding all things that have to do with Venus, okay? She rules all women. She rules all women, young and old, women of all shapes and sizes, and she rules mothers, grandmothers, aunts, sisters, cousins that are women, your neighbors that are women. She also rules financial things. So, I would say that there might be an element of some financial instability, maybe financial woes. Maybe there's a financial element to this case. Sorry, I'm trying to turn off my fan, and sorry for the background noise. But, Venus can also be somebody had a piece of property, or regarding property, your possessions. Maybe the kids were fighting over a toy. It rules the things that you own, the things that you cherish the most. Ownership of things and how you care for those things. But she also does rule financial issues. That's why, when Mercury and Venus were in retrograde, the stock market was crashing. So, Venus really has a lot to do with your finances. So there could be an undertone of something financial with them missing. Either financial hardship, financial stress, or the kids were arguing over maybe a toy or something. Okay, let's continue to break down the chart. So the other thing that I'm missing, and if you read Kirsty McIntosh's book and some of the other forensic criminal astrology books, they tell us about looking for the corners. Kirsty teaches us to look for, the corners are pretty powerful houses. They're the angular houses. So at 10 a.m., the moon is ruling this chart. Now, the moon is very important when it comes to missing children under 5. Really, anyone missing, even adults missing. You want to really focus on that moon. And the moon is sitting right on the AC line. And remember, the AC line also rules our missing children. So, and the DC line is an open enemy to our children. In the 8th house, we look for, you can look for killers and things like that, bad people, kidnappers and things like that. So, off the bat, we have the moon ruling this chart, and there could be a layer of family involved. Now, because the moon and the ruler of the DC line are both in angular houses, which gives them more power, I do feel like the kids are not too far off from the house. With the moon being in the first house, I do feel like we're going to get some answers that we seek. I do feel like things are going to come to fruition. And it can mean that these children are either near the home, or they're in a place that these kids felt safe or have visited before, or a place that the family is familiar with. With them, showing up as the moon ruling this chart, we just cannot ignore family involvement. And I hate to say that, but as far as on an astrological level, we are looking, possibly a water area that the family was familiar with. Does not mean that I'm saying that the family is guilty. I mean, maybe the kids got out and they went to a familiar place that they're familiar with their family. But with Capricorn ruling that DC, it does give us a little sinister undertone here. Capricorn can mean that there's a family member that was trying to discipline or had wanting to show power over. You have to think of who Saturn is. He is the wise old teacher, and he is that authority figure that tells you no. So on the AC line, I have family possibly being involved. And then on the DC line, we have some type of structure or restriction involved in these children, okay? Which Saturn is in the 10th house. He rules your reputation, your career, your work. And he is the planet of restriction. If you think about the rings around Saturn, he restricts you, he holds you back, he holds you in. Now, on a natal chart, Saturn, he's just the wise old teacher that has a lesson for you to learn, and he can rule delays, hiccups, restriction, maybe that rock that's in the road for you, but he helps you get over that rock. He wants you to succeed, and he rewards hard work on your natal chart. Now, on a crime chart, we look at Saturn a little bit differently, okay? Saturn can, first of all, he rules the skeleton. He's this, if you look at Saturn's symbol, he's part of a sickle, okay? So he can rule old age and death, and he can be an authoritarian, an authority figure to children. He's bigger than them, okay? And Saturn and the moon, they don't really get along. So with them being opposed to each other, the moon opposed Capricorn, and Cancer being opposed Capricorn on the AC and DC line, that is a lot of emotions at the home, possibly. And, Saturn is associated with, responsibility, limitations, and discipline. And the moon is emotional, and the moon, is motherly, nurturing, but the moon is also very emotional, and tension can build. So it just gives me this feeling of suppression, tension, maybe emotional overload. I feel could be involved in this as well. Just looking at the opposition of those two signs, Cancer and Capricorn, and they are the mother and father, pretty much so, of the zodiac. The sun is as well, can be mother and father of the zodiac. The sun and the moon are the eyes of the zodiac, right? So, it just gives me this feeling of suppression, emotion overload. Maybe trying to teach a lesson, but then it maybe it went too far. I'm not really sure. Again, I'm not accusing the parents. I'm just saying this is a possibility that I'm seeing with the energy between those two signs. Okay, let's continue on. Okay, so Saturn is at a 28th degree. He is still in the sign of Pisces. Now remember, Saturn is who is ruling the DC. So it's interesting that, we look at the moon for a possible location of where people could be found, bodies could be found. We look at the 4th house for the end of the matter and the emotions and the circumstances surrounding, the circumstances surrounding the missing children, right? Just emotions or things that were happening during when the kids went missing. We also have, which is Libra. Libra and Virgo is there, down at the bottom of the chart, the 4th house. So Murray is at a 22 degrees in the 4th house. Again, has to do with home and family and the end of the circumstances surrounding the disappearance of these children. And I have Murray there, and I have a nemesis at the 18th degree. I have Murray at 22 degrees, which is a kill or be killed degree. I have Juno in the 5th house, which can mean that there is some relationship issues, that they were going through some type of transformation with their relationship issues with Juno in the 5th house regarding children. With Saturn up here at the 10th, again, that's, power, struggles, and it's in Pisces, and the AC line and the DC line are both at the 12th degree. The 12th degree is a Pisces degree, which is ruled by delusions, illusions, lies. It could be water, and also can be drugs, prescription drugs. I hate to say it, but the 12th degree is ruled by Pisces, and that is quite famously popular for drug use like heroin, prescription pills, and alcohol and drinking. So there could be a level, an element of drinking here, because Saturn is in Pisces, so we could have children that are near water, and there could be an underlayer of, because Capricorn is ruling my DC, that tells me that if the kids were harmed by someone, there could be a layer of drugs involved. Now, as far as miles go, I would say 1.2 miles, 1.8, 1.7 miles, at the most 2.8 miles. Again, I'm going to tell you that I feel like the children would be in a place that they visited before, a place that whoever, if they were harmed, if they were harmed, they are in a place that the perpetrator would be very familiar with. It also lets us know that they were at their home when this happened, in their home, or with family when this happened to them, when they went missing. And whatever happened prior, they were with family, because Cancer is ruling the AC in the first house, and Cancer is the AC in the 12th degree. Again, that is an undertone of possible drug involvement. Okay? Of course, this is all, alleged. But I would say that with Saturn showing up in, remember the Saturn is ruling a few things in this chart. Each of these planets, each of these aspects can rule multiple things at multiple times. So if there is an open enemy, Saturn's ruling the open enemy. Saturn is also ruling a body, a physical body. The moon can also give us an idea of a location and distance of a body. So, the moon is 1.7 mile, could possibly 1.7 miles away, up to 17 miles away. And Saturn, and at my IC, I have 18, so 1.8, so 1.7, 1.8, that could be miles. But with Saturn being up there in the 10th degree, in the 10th house like that, to me, it just makes me feel like this case is going to get a lot of attention, okay? Like, it's going to get wild. It's going to get a lot of publicity, and because it rules, that's the reputation of the crime chart, the reputation of them going missing. Okay, I'm not sure if there's a crime involved or not, but I would say the reputation of this case it's going to be pretty famous. It's going to get a lot of attention because it's in an angular house. Saturn's in an angular house. I feel like, we're going to find something. We're going to get some type of answers. Hopefully it will be solved sooner than later. I feel like with angular houses, it does give us more, succeeding houses and angular houses. They're very powerful. So I feel like, we could have some success. Now, the 10th house, the direction of Saturn is south, the south direction. And Saturn is in the sign of Pisces, getting ready to come out of Pisces. So that's south by north by west. So south direction, north by west. And I would say that, they are in an area that's familiar to them. They'd be in an area that's familiar to the open enemy, maybe a place that the family has visited before. It could be near water, because we have that Pisces and fishing element, and that there could be an undertone of drugs and discipline involved in this with financial woes. Okay, again, not saying that this is factual. That's just how I feel with looking at the asteroids, and I have Daniel in the 12th house. That's Daniel. That is 12th house is also possible addiction as well. It could be heroin, could be pills. I'm not saying that he is or he isn't. I'm just saying that there could be an element of endings, sorrows, drugs, lying, delusions, conspiracy theories, and could also be addiction. Murray is in the, at the end of the matter, the emotions surrounding the end. So next to Nemesis. And Murray being in the 4th house also rules family. Nemesis also rules family, but it's in Libra, so that means relationships. And with that Juno in the 5th house, that also rules children. So Libra can be your boyfriend, your spouse, people who are your open enemy as well, with Nemesis there. There's a huge T-square on this chart as well, pointing to the sun. It's an older male, possibly. Again, I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just saying Mars and Pluto are opposed to each other in that trine. It's a lot of tension. And then there's a climax to it. There's a climax to this tension. And again, I'm just going to say there could be an undertone of financial issues. There could be an undertone of drugs. they're not far off. I believe they're not far off. 1.7, 1.8 miles away. And that possibly we have family involvement, and they could be with Saturn there near a water source, but under brushes out in the open. So they could possibly near a water source, but more so with Saturn up in the 10th house like that. That could be, near, under bushes, out in the open, near a water source. So hidden underneath something, but kind of exposed at the same time. I can't help but think of the color black. I'm not sure what colors they were wearing that day, but Saturn does rule the color black. It's an earth sign. So, in the 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. So, black is the color that's coming to mind. And they keep talking about a diaper, and maybe there was an accident with poo, possibly. Okay, this is what I have for now. Please continue to pray for everyone. Pray for the family. That, regardless of what happened, that we just know the truth soon. Again, all suspects are considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. This is just my astrological opinion. Doesn't mean that it's fact. Okay, blessings to all of you. Please continue to pray for these children. I do feel like we will have answers soon. Okay, blessings to you all. Bye-bye now.